Good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of...
It sounds like you're about to do some nighttime.
It's not even good. It's morning. Normally we do this at night, but it's the morning.
And people could be listening at any point.
The days just bleed into each other. I don't know. I mean, whatever. We love our kids, but thank you guys for being here. Let's tell you about this episode. First, thanks to all the new subscribers and followers on Instagram, YouTube. Please keep doing that. Let us know what you want to hear more of.
We definitely appreciate you all tuning in.
Yeah, this podcast or video cast is some parenting, some social issues, what we feel, what's going on in the world. So there's a lot of everything that I think people will like. Strong opinions, which is good. So let's talk about this episode.
This episode is very apropos to the title because we love our kids, but I'm done. No
more. The kids ask, are we going to have any more kids? Can they have a brother or sister, or do they want a brother or sister? And also you see on social media, so many families like, I guess in our genre, just popping out more kids, baby number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When does it stop? And it seems like a lot of people in the influencer realm or whatever we're doing, it's like they almost have kids for their business. Like their business, YouTube could only thrive if they have another kid. We are not that family.
I don't know if they do or they don't. Maybe they just love big families. Maybe they're all Mormon and they're going to have 17 kids. I don't know. But that will not be this family. We are at 1, 2, 3, 4. One handful. That's enough.
That's enough.
One handful.
I'm not judging families that do. I mean, if you can have 7 kids and be a good mom and dad, then so be it. But we've talked about it before.
Yeah, I can't have kids if I wanted to. So
right,
I cannot have any more. That's it for me. I can't have any more.
So why don't you tell that story? Because the kids recently asked. They were asking about siblings and stuff, and we kind of told them. We did a video on our YouTube channel, Mighty McClures. Check that out. About your reaction to truly having more kids.
Basically, told the kids I can't have any more kids, which is funny because I don't even think they understand how we have kids. Obviously, because I'm still literally dancing around that question of how are babies made. I'm still telling them the baby making dance.
If you guys aren't sure what she's talking about, a long time ago when we had Jersey, our son, the girls who were like 3 at the time, 4 at the time, wanted to know how babies are made.
I wanted to share with you that you're going to be a sister because Mama is having a baby.
I don't know why that brother. Brothers are sinking. How do you make the baby?
Me and Dad made the baby.
Oh, how?
We came together to make the baby.
More real one way.
You guys were probably asleep.
And you cleverly said the baby making dance. And now the girls who are 8, they still think it's the baby making dance. And they even ask if they're going to learn the baby making dance in school.
They must know this dance. Like, where do you learn this dance?
The baby
Ava said, dance. I'm sure I won't learn it until high school. I'm like, I hope you won't learn it until you're 25.
Our kids will not learn the baby making dance as long as they're living in this house, which could be for a long time. According to the kids, they're going to live in this house forever. Or they're going to live with their parents forever.
Yeah. So, so I'm still dancing, as I said, around that question, saying the baby making dance. So when I said I can't have any more kids, I think it was Alexis was like, what do you mean you can't have any more kids? Does it mean you can't do the dance anymore? And I was like, no, I'm not saying, Justin, what? What do I tell her?
Well,
I was like,
it's kind of like when you have a dance, but like your leg is tied or something like that, or one of your limbs isn't working. So she kind of had something. We were kind of like, she can't do the dance like that anymore, So,
awkward.
Because at some point, like they might really want to know, can they have another brother or sister?
Yeah. So after all that weird staring at each other back and forth awkwardness went through, I had to explain, like, no, I cannot have any more kids by my choice. You ever just feel like something is just not sitting right with you ever? That's pregnancy with me. Like, it will never sit right with me. My body doesn't enjoy it. I'm glad to have the kids. I'm glad I had kids. I always wanted to have kids. Being a mom is something I cherish. I love it. But the process does not make me happy. I love the end result. I do not love the process. It's like exercising.
Yeah.
You love the way you look. Oh, love the end result. But the process of getting there, especially when you're first starting, you're trying to get through it and get to your goal. You're like, oh God, everything hurts. I hate this. Why am I doing this to myself? That's how I feel during pregnancy. Like, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah.
So it's really just...
Well, it was like that with the girls, obviously, and Jersey.
It was, I mean, I guess it went from completely terrible to kind of terrible. Because the girls were, the pregnancy with them was just so... I think I said before, I don't know if I ever said to you guys, but I said to you, like, I laid in the bed one day in my townhouse, on the third floor of the townhouse, and looked out the window, was like, I could just jump out that window right now. That's how low I had gotten with that pregnancy. Not even talking about the situation that I was in, but just with the pregnancy also in general. That's how low I had gotten. It felt like I had no life force inside of me. Even though I was growing life, I had no life force inside of me. I had nothing. I couldn't even get up to use the bathroom. I had a bedpan. That's how, I had no life force. It was so depressing. Even thinking about it now, people say you forget that type of stuff. Like, oh, once you have the babies, you forget all about it. It's like, no, I didn't. I don't think I ever will.
So let's fast forward to when we had Jersey and what happened, and then, how you articulated that to the girls and our kids about not having more kids.
Yes. Well, luckily with Jersey, I didn't end up with the bedpan, but it was still pretty bad. Like, you were there for that one. It's pretty bad.
And what was the condition you had?
Hyperemesis. Gravidarum. I can never say that last part. Gravidarum. Hyperemesis. It's like I had severe hyperemesis, which is, a lot of women get hyperemesis or morning sickness, what they call the less severe form. And they just, they're nauseous for the first couple months of pregnancy, but they're still eating, but they don't feel great. Like, for me, it's hyperemesis gravidarum and severe, to the point that I cannot eat. Like, I just can't eat anything. IVs, like everything, trying to just somehow balance me back out to be a person. So
Jersey came out.
Yeah, I said when I had Jersey, I made the decision, first of all, because Jersey didn't want to come. So I was in a position of wanting to try and have Jersey naturally. I didn't want to have a C-section. And they were like, okay, sure, you can try. It's been 4 years since your last C-section. So I wanted to try and have him naturally, but he refused. I didn't dilate. He wouldn't drop. I was just like, I'm stuck with this baby. And he was big. Like, I was so exhausted and huge. It was like the week of Thanksgiving. They're like, it doesn't look like he's coming, but if you want to give it another week, we can do it the week after Thanksgiving, which would have took me past my due date. And I was like, no, I can't go through Thanksgiving with this turkey inside. I want to be eating turkey, not having a turkey, because I couldn't eat really. He took up all the room. So I ended up deciding to have a scheduled C-section. And so that's how Jersey was born. And since I knew I was going to have the C-section, I said, well, since I'm already having to have this surgery where you go and rip me apart, let me go ahead and tie them up, please. Like, I don't want no more. Like, I'm good. I have 3. Anyways, that's been my experience with pregnancies. So in telling the kids that, I can't have any more babies, it was, I wouldn't say they were sad. They're more like, what do you mean you can't? It's one thing to say you don't want to. They're like, what do you mean you can't? You look like you can still stand and run and walk.
And that's when they brought up, well, you can still do the dance, right? You can still do the baby making dance. And that caught us off guard, but it shouldn't have, because that's their only reference to like kids, is that they think you make them with the baby making dance. So when you can't have kids, they think, oh, so you can't do the baby making dance anymore. I
should have said it's your dad. He just can't dance anymore. Like, he just, you know how he doesn't like dancing? Like, he's given up on all the dances, all of them.
Just pointed to the dad who can't dance anymore.
That would have been hilarious. Because they'd believe that one. They're like, yeah, dad never dances. Girls and boy.
Right.
Like,
we got... Yeah, you told the kids, and they were just like... So I think we used the term, tubes tied, and they were just like,
they're like, you have tubes?
Like bicycle tubes? You got a tube in there? The tube in that really confused them. They're like, what are you talking about, tubes tied? And like, that's when they said, you can't do the baby making dance anymore with the tubes tied? And so that's obviously a very funny reaction. But so basically you told them no more kids because that was your choice, our choice, to not have any more, because we have enough. We have 3.
Well, Justin, even if you wanted more, you would have had to go find somebody else to have them with, because I wasn't going to have any more.
So you're saying I can have extramarital affairs?
No, I'm saying you would have to go be with somebody else then. Go
in this relationship.
So if you really wanted to have more kids, like you'd have to go find somebody else to have kids with. I'm sorry.
I'm not aching to like, oh, I need to have more kids, and like I don't have much time to myself now. Like let me give away some of that time to another kid.
And at this point, you'd have a second family because I'm not having any more.
Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh.